Hello everyone, how are you? It's good to be back in another session. We've been studying chapter number 5 with all of you. How are you guys? Quickly, let us join in the chat. Let us join in and have a conversation. Quickly join in and tell me how is it going? Any doubts and questions? Hey Ravin, Ajitab, Jyoti, Ganesh, Hera, Licha, how are you? I am good. I'm good, Licha. Thank you so much. This is not the last class, Ajita. We have another class on Thursday. That will be our last class. So, उसमें chapter 6 करेंगे very quickly. Then we'll spend around 30-40 minutes on random questions from the syllabus, questions around examination, questions around course that you have any doubts and clarifications that you seek. We will take care of that, right? We will just wait for another 30 seconds or so and quickly then move on to where we left off, which you can see on the screen, which is SEBI, which is a non-funding government organization facilitating business, right? I will just open the query box again. I think, oh, here we have a lot of people are there now. Misha, Priyanka, Pranchal is there, Harshita, Sarvesh, Vidhi is there, Avni, Nikita, Mayur, Vidhi. Great. Good to see you guys. Any questions, guys? Anything that you think is not clear from the last session? We studied about RBI. We studied about different layers of facilitation of business, points of contact we studied about, right? A lot of things that happened, we studied. Any questions, any doubts that have been on the top of your head, anything that is not clear, we will spend 2 good minutes on solving that, if any. If not, awesome. I think I am doing a great job if you guys have no questions and all the concepts are clear, right? I think over the weekend, I had a few questions coming in wherein a lot of people were asking, we are not able to solve questions, even though I understand the concept, the questions are not being able to solve. How do I solve that? How do I overcome that problem? So one basic thing I'll tell you, the most basic thing about the chartered accountancy course, the entire examination process at every level in CA, right? At every, be it foundation, be it intermediate, or be it final. One thing we all need to understand is it's an examination based on practice. Okay, this is an examination which is based on practicing a lot of questions. There are questions at the back of the study material. There are additional books, additional question banks provided on the Board of Studies website. Go there, do those questions. There are explanations to those questions. There are answers to those questions. Mock test papers karo. Then do RTP. Then do all the sorts of questions you can get, right? Past examination questions, dekho, RTP, dekho, mock test, dekho, study material, dekho, question banks are there. There is plethora of information. There is plethora of practice material from the institute itself, right? And most of us are not even using that. So that is one big thing I would really want you all to do, right? Also, I was getting a few questions on articleship. I was getting a few questions on how to pursue this career. We are at a foundation level. Is it the right thing to do? How do I look out for myself in the next 2-3 years? See, the point is for articleship, I can tell you, start building your network. If you want to go to a big four, if you want to go to a middle firm, if you want to go to any company per se, any role that you want to go to, an M&A kind of a role, you want to go into stat audit, you want to go into internal audit, taxation, transfer pricing, you want to go for industrial training. The best thing out there right now is LinkedIn. Okay, so go and build your network out on LinkedIn. I cannot explain to you how useful it is, right? Go there, start building your network, find people that you think are doing what you want to do, right? Find people from big fours, find senior executives, find the managers, assistant managers, associate directors, find people who are chartered accountants, find people who are in finance field for the last 2-3 years, 4-5 years, right? Start connecting, start talking to them. Everyone is helpful there. You will build a very strong network, right? And that will really help you identify what you want to do and what is the right step to do that. Okay, those were a few questions I got over the weekend, so I wanted to put that out for everyone. I thought these are questions that everyone is facing a challenge in, right? Sure, Manisha. After chapter 5, chapter 6, I think I will cover in 1 hour. बहुत I'll do selective terms, सारी terms नहीं करेंगे, because I think a lot of terms are repetitive and a lot of terms we have already done. क्या कोई terms ऐसी है very basic, marketing क्या होता है, और what is a customer, what is a consumer, we know what it is, right? I don't want to waste time on that. I want to waste time more on questions, not waste, use time more on questions. So we'll do that as well, right? वो भी करेंगे. That is also what I've planned, right? Great. So Manisha Preeti is there, Madhu Chetty is there, Naveen. Awesome. So we have good number of people joined in the conversation. I would really request, if you are still hesitant in coming over the chat and talking to us, do that. Last two classes, today and Thursday, is going to be a last class. So probably ask all the questions, all the queries that you have. Probably I won't be able to talk to you face to face, over an email or over the, like what we have virtual classes at ICAI.in. So you can go and post your questions that would be directed to me, right? So I can answer that, or the faculty or the very senior faculties, very prestige and very, like I would say, great faculties and institute would help you on those, right? Cool. So I think no questions per se from the last session. Everything is clear. I think that's a very good sign, right? Let us very quickly go on to understand one basic thing, right? Let me just refresh this. Got it. I'll just refresh this. Give me 1 second. Where are we? Yep. Got it. Okay, let us start that. Let us quickly start that. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. Okay, so difference between repo and bank rate. Nikhil, time and again, 5 times I explained that. Listen to this very carefully. Repo rate is the rate, right? Even if in the study material, I think someone was pointing out it's referred as a different thing, but I'm telling you, bank rate is the rate at which the bank gives out loans to the customers. Repo rate is the rate at which the bank takes loan from the RBI. Okay, so that is repo and difference between bank rate. That I think we need to get corrected in the study material. If not, I will go through it. I think someone pointed out page number 5.8, right? We will look into it. But bank rate is the rate at which the bank gives loans to the customer. Repo rate is the rate at which bank takes loan from the RBI, right? Sure, Samir. We'll meet in the intermediate level as well. Talking about strategic management. Probably I wish you clear your examinations with flying colors. You all are successful. That is what I wish. And I know you will be, right? And we'll meet you again in the intermediate level of strategic management. Okay. Sahil, I didn't get the question. Please, if you can rephrase. You are a student of BUT. What is BUT? Priyanka, we are not allowed to give personal email IDs. I'll be honest with you. That's how things are, right? But you can always post your questions on virtual classes at ICAI.in. Those will be directed to me. So the answers you get would be from me or from very esteemed faculties of the institute. Manisha, it's virtual classes at ICAI.in. Virtual classes at ICAI.in. Wait, I think I had written it somewhere for you guys. Okay. I think I removed that slide, but it's at virtual classes at ICAI.in is where you can go and post your questions. Right? Awesome. I'm able to eliminate 2 options of the questions exam. Should I attempt the question or not? See, Naveen, attempt the question only if you are confident. I would really stress, तुक्के मत मारना. तुक्के में, my experience is whenever I have guessed the question, मेरा तो हमेशा गलत होता है. So I really don't recommend people doing that. अगर कुछ भी नहीं आता, बिल्कुल ही पेपर खाली ब्लैंक हो, if you're blank in the paper, then like I don't know what to do. But my personal experience is do not do guesswork. It hasn't been good for me. I don't know how lucky you are, right? But it's good, like only attempt in question if you know it. अगर time नहीं बचा है, बहुत सारे question बने, then probably I don't know whatever strategy you can follow there, right? But focus on the questions that you know. First complete those, confidence आ जाता है. Let's say there are 40-50 questions and you know 20-25 questions sure shot कि यार ये तो मुझे आते ही हैं. For the next 15 let me think through. Out of those 15 you understand, ठीक है, 5-6 I can make sense of and I can answer. So 30 questions तो already you gain confidence that was okay, 75% of the paper I know, other 25 let me figure out, I have time. Okay, so probably that is what you can do. Chapter 4 also I'll upload it. Probably I was stuck in a little work. Probably really sorry for that. But chapter 5 and 4 upload एक साथ ही करते हैं. No worries, Farah. Private banks take loan from RBI for long-term needs is known as bank rate. That's a different thing, Samir. Okay, so bank rate is probably, it's a very vague term. Okay, it's like saying I want to eat Mughlai food. अभी Mughlai में butter chicken भी आएगा, तंदूरी chicken भी आएगा. So it's a very broad term. इसमें आप, it includes a lot of things, right? So do not get confused. The focus is on repo and reverse repo, right? Bank rate बहुत बड़ी चीज है. It includes bank rate. कौन सा मुझे बताओ? If I ask you bank rate मतलब loan का कौन सा, housing loan का, education loan का, सारे bank rates हैं, right? So probably do not get confused with a perfect exact चीज क्या है. There is no exact चीज for a bank rate, right? There is no page numbered into. We are not talking from a page number. This is just my notes on the screen, right? Sami, I'm not sure. I think we are not allowed to give the personal email IDs. That is what I understand. Right? I'm not sure about other teachers. That is what I know. Cool. Let us go on to talk about SEBI today and other organizations that are helping and facilitating businesses, right? Your Securities and Exchange Board of India is basically a board which is taking care of all the listed companies, right? Listed companies, I explained to you in the last session also, listed companies jinke stocks, jinke shares, whose ownership is there on the stock exchange. You and me, general public, can go and buy shares of those companies. We can invest in those companies. Those are called listed companies. Because it involves money of the general public, aam janta ka paisa is involved in such a transaction. So the government says, boss, I really want to regulate this. I want this thing to be controlled by me because it is the paisa of the general public. I cannot afford people's money to be wasted or to be used in a scam or a fraud. Okay, so that is why Securities and Exchange Board of India came into picture in India in 1992 after the Harshad Mehta scam. More powers were given to it, right? More powers were given to SEBI because बहुत ज़्यादा scam हो रहा था. A lot of mishappenings, a lot of misfraudulent, or I would say a lot of fraudulent activities were happening. So that is why I thought, चलो एक SEBI खोल देते हैं, एक exchange board खोल देते हैं, which takes care of all the listed companies, financials of all the actions of the listed companies, right? Now, how does SEBI, we are talking about business facilitation, we are talking about business facilitation for businesses in the country. How is SEBI helping that? Two ways. Number one, it is helping businesses to come on the stock exchange. It is creating an environment. It is creating a platform where companies, where businesses, small businesses, big businesses can come and ask for money from the general public. That boss, come invest our money. Let us all grow together. Right? That is one. It provides a platform to the businesses. Number two, it provides a platform to the general public to come and invest their money and grow their income. Right? So two ways it's helping the economy, two ways it's facilitating the businesses, providing a platform to the businesses to get money from the public, providing a platform for the general public to come and invest in businesses they think are profitable, they understand the business. So always mutual fund ki ad ke pehle, equity shares, futures and options ki ad ke pehle, whatever you see is, please read the documents carefully. It is subject to market risk. Please be very aware. Right? Because that is how risky it is. But then again, it is highly regulated. Even though it is risky, it is highly regulated. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि कोई कंपनी पैसा लेके आपकी भाग जाएगी. right? That is what SEBI ensures. The company can go bankrupt, but there will be a full-fledged news around it. आपको information दी जाएगी, एक हफ्ते का time period मिलेगा, right? So think about it. What is SEBI doing? If a company goes bankrupt, if the shares are falling every single day, you get an information, right? You go to an app, you go to a broker, you go to the Sensex or Nifty, you look at things ki share gir raha hai. You're getting an information. You get SMS, you get OTP, security hai, OTP dalte ho, only then you can buy and sell your shares. Not anyone can do that. That is a platform. It's a secure place where your money is safe. Right? कोई भी ऐसे आके आपका पैसा ये shares नहीं ले जाएंगे. You own that share. You own that share in the demat account. So it's creating that environment, right? There is no page number, Dimple. That is what I said. We are not mentioning any page. Probably that's your last question only. मैं फिर से question पढ़ रहा हूँ क्या? Right? Jitin, no worries, boss. Never lose hope. Probably focus more on practice is what I'm again saying. ठीक है? Concepts, if you have already given examination once, no problem on that. ठीक है? Time कहीं नहीं जा रहा है. Because I can honestly tell you, like after 3-4 years, no one asks. Once you become a chartered accountant, no one even asks. थोड़ा सा probably practically you might face a little challenge. That's a practical thing. But then again, once you are in the industry, probably that doesn't even matter. Okay. But from an examination perspective, practice as many questions as you can. Okay. That is my I would say the mantra I would give you is practice as much as you can, right? Okay. SEBI was established by the government of India in 1988. ठीक है, 1988 में बन गई थी, but given statutory powers in 1992 with SEBI Act. 1988 में बना दिया था, but they gave it more powers. It gave them more powers through an act in 1992, right? Controller of capital issues was the regulatory authority before SEBI. SEBI से पहले जो company or the organization, not a company but an organization, an institute, which was taking care of the stock exchange of the securities market in India was called Controller of Capital Issues. We called it CCI. Then they changed the name to SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Okay. Very simple. The board of SEBI. SEBI को lead कौन करता है? Who are the leaders? Who are the people who are managing SEBI? Okay. There is a chairman. There is a chairman who shall be appointed by the central government. Okay. The central government appoints a chairman who is a person of ability, integrity, standing in the field of securities market, law, finance, business finance, accountancy, economics, administration, etc. Right? A chairman shall be appointed by the central government and he shall be the person of ability, integrity and standing. सबसे टॉप पे the board of SEBI, we are talking about the board of SEBI, the top पे बैठे हैं, एक chairman बैठे हैं, he or she is appointed by the central government. Two members from amongst the officials of the Ministry of Central Government dealing with finance and administration who shall be nominated by the central government. Central government appoint करती है chairman को, plus it nominates two other members from the Ministry of Central Government, Ministry of Finance से हो सकता है, dealing with finance and administration of Companies Act, right? So Ministry of Corporate Affairs या Ministry of Finance में से दो all members को central government nominates to become the board member of SEBI, right? Responsibilities of SEBI. Number one, to protect, to promote, to regulate for related matters. What does this mean? Simple है. Protect करेगी, promote करेगी, regulate करेगी. SEBI क्या करेगी? SEBI की responsibilities are very simple. It will protect, it will promote, and it will regulate. It will protect, it will promote, and it will regulate. Protect किसको करेगी? Interest of the investors like you and me. Interest of the investors like you and me who are putting our hard-earned money in the companies in the stock exchange. SEBI will protect our interest. It will promote what? It will promote the development of securities market so that more people come and invest money, more businesses come and build their businesses by taking money from the general public, right? So that the economy, so that the people of the country become part of the growth story of the country, right? If a company is growing, if the country is growing as a whole, the government wants, the SEBI wants that more people come and invest in the growth story of the country. That is what SEBI's responsibility is, to promote the development of securities market. Securities means आपका equity shares and debentures. Equity shares हो गया, debentures हो गया, mutual funds हो गया. All this is your securities market, right? To regulate the securities market. अच्छा, regulate means to supervise and check. Supervisor है. It checks कि कोई fraud तो नहीं कर रहा है, कोई someone is not using your money fraudulently, scam तो नहीं हो रहा है कोई. If any company is there in the stock market taking money from the general public for the wrong workings. Abhi if let's say I start a company and I say ki boss, I want to start a company because I want to sell a lot of tobacco. मैं tobacco scam करना. I want to sell tobacco in Africa, which is not allowed. It's an illegal activity. But then come and say, let's say I have 100 times profit. Last year I made 1 crore. This year I made 100 crores. Come and invest in my company. I cannot do that through Securities and Exchange Board because it's an illegal business, right? So SEBI regulates that. ऐसे नहीं कोई भी आके पैसा उठा लेगा, right? I have a business of let's say child labor. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि भाई I do child labor. All the factories and everything is, I have all the small children because the cost is very less. See, my profits are so much because I sell so much product across India, but my cost is less because I am doing child labor. Child labor की वजह से I'm making a lot of money. The SEBI will say, boss, these companies are to be shut down. These are illegal businesses. People cannot invest in these businesses. Right? That is what regulation means. We scam, wrongdoings are not being done by the company because it's money of the public, it's money of the country, right? So it regulates those activities and all other things related, anything that they have to do all these things, they do that, right? Kuch bhi aur within the scope of protecting the interest of investors or promoting the development of securities market or to regulate the securities market, they can and they have to do that. That is their responsibility as the Securities and Exchange Board of India, right? Can a CA become a chairman of SEBI? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. If the central government appoints you, then yes, why not? Mutual fund is subject to market risk? Absolutely, Samir. If you're investing, then you have to. Right? Okay. These are the 3 or 4 basic responsibilities to protect, to promote, and to regulate. Protect kisko interest of the investors. Promote kisko securities market ko. Regulate kisko securities market ko. Right? And anything related to the above 3 responsibilities, if it has to do, it has to do. It is what it is. That is what its responsibilities of SEBI are. Okay. Now, SEBI has a it has to be responsive to 3 groups of people. Okay. It has to be responsive to 3 groups of people. Number 1, the issuers of security. Number 2, the investors. And number 3, the market intermediaries. Okay. Number 1, the issuers of securities, the public companies, the public listed companies, jinke shares are there on the stock exchange. The investors like you and me who are investing our hard-earned money in the stock market, and they have to respond to the needs and to the questions of the market intermediaries like brokers and mutual funds, right? Brokers kaun ho gaye? Jaise aapke Zerodha ho gaya, right? You would have heard Zerodha is there, then Grow is there, right? Grow ki kitni ad aati hai? Grow is there, then Upstocks is there, right? Motilal Oswal is there, e-markets are there. A lot of these companies are brokers because they are agents. Aapko khareedna hai, you tell Zerodha, I want to buy this share. Zerodha says, okay, give me money. They go and buy and they give it to you, right? Aapko company ke paas nahi jana pata. You don't have to call, let's say, Tata Motors, I want to buy your shares. Can you sell me your shares? Tata Motors says, ki nahi, it will take you 7 days. As in, itna time to hai nahi, like the share price will fluctuate. I cannot contact every single company. What I do, I go to a broker. I tell Zerodha, boss, I want Tata Motors ka share at 500 rupees. Abhi 520 hai. Whenever it hits 500, buy 10 shares for me. Zerodha says, all right, I'll do that. Right? So whenever the share price comes to 500, Zerodha goes and buys those shares for me and gives it to me and takes a percentage of commission, right, for their services. Those are brokers. Similarly, mutual funds. What are mutual funds? Collecting money from a lot of people and then investing, right? It is called mutual. Mutual ka matlab kya hota hai? Mutual means milke. Mutual means together, right? So mutual fund is basically collecting money from a lot of people and then investing in certain companies, right? That is called mutual funds. So SEBI has to be responsive. SEBI has to take care of the needs of. SEBI has to answer. SEBI has to clarify. SEBI has to help. Three kinds of groups of people. Number one, the issuers, the companies which have the shares in the stock market. Number two are the investors like you and me, investors like you and me who want to invest in the securities market. And number three are market intermediaries, the brokers and the mutual funds who face problems, who have some issues, or who are working in such a large volume on the stock exchange and affecting all the transactions on the stock exchange. उनकी भी सुननी पड़ेगी, उनका भी ख्याल रखना पड़ेगा. They have to take care of the needs, wants and problems of these three groups of people. That also comes under the responsibility of the SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. And basis all these responsibilities, it is facilitating businesses. The chapter is about business facilitation. चैप्टर का थीम याद रखो हमेशा. The chapter is talking about business facilitation. बिजनेस की मदद कैसे की जा रही है by the government, by opening RBI, by opening a SEBI, so that RBI takes care of the economy. कि भाई economy grow करेगी तो business grow करेगा. We have to facilitate the businesses, from women entrepreneurs to small businesses to the largest business to the widest business to exporters to importers to foreign exchange to GDP to inflation to bank interest to repo rate to reverse repo rate. सब कुछ देखना है, उसके लिए RBI बना दो. When people are coming to the stock exchange, the businesses are coming to the stock exchange, we need to take care of all the things so that things are in the good way. Country grows as a whole. The country is growing towards the next billion, million, $1 trillion economy. And that is why the SEBI has been formed. 1992 statutory powers दी गई, 1988 में SEBI को बनाया, right? That's what the responsibility of SEBI is. It is facilitating businesses, pushing, supporting businesses, right? Cool. Now, responsibility समझ आ गया. I always tell you, responsibility is what it has to do. Functions are how it has to do. Okay. Responsibilities are what it has to do. Functions are always how it has to do that. Okay. Always remember, कोई भी subject हो, law हो, audit हो, like whatever subject you're studying, always remember when the word functions come, functions of XYZ, functions of this, function of that, function of this. Function का मतलब है how, कैसे करेंगे. Responsibilities, characteristics is what it has to do. आपको करना क्या है, that is responsibility. कैसे करना है, that is function. Okay. So 3 functions of SEBI. So to do all this, okay, ये सारी responsibilities को करने के लिए it does it through these 3 things: quasi-legislative, quasi-judicial, and quasi-executive. Now the question that should come, right? The question that should come in your mind is, what is quasi? कि भैया quasi क्या चीज है? Who can tell me what is quasi? Very quickly answer what is quasi, right? NSDL, CDSL are business facilitators. Yes, they are brokers, right? जो broker पढ़ रहे थे, NSDL, CDSL are also brokers. Money market is also regulated by SEBI. Somewhat, yes, some portion of it, right? Some portion of it. But उसमें RBI का भी रोल होता है मनी मार्केट में, because वो fiscal policy, monetary policy देखते हैं, right? BCK paper contains only MCQs. Yes. Suppose any scam happens in a country, then SEBI will solve that case for absolutely. It will. That is its responsibility. Angel broking is also a broker. Good one. Sarvesh, good. That's money control. Sher Khan. Absolutely. These are all brokers. You're right. What is the price of shares? Mahindra. I don't know. Priyanka, go and Google that. Tagging of mutual funds, say absolutely. Sachin Tendulkar does that. Our broker is the person by share on behalf of investor. It's not a person, Ankit. It's a company. It's a company. Okay. It's not just one person. हमारे दिमाग में broker होता है एक आदमी, because in earlier days our fathers and our parents used to go to some Sharma uncle, some Khanna uncle and say, boss की ये हमारे broker हैं, इनके through हम करते हैं, right? So now things have changed. Everything is becoming very digital. So now big companies like Zerodha, Grow Up Stocks, Money Control, Sher Khan, Angel Broking, all these are coming in. IND Money, right? All these companies are brokers, right? But you are right. They invest money on our behalf and then give us our shares. They are like agents. Broker क्या है? घर खरीदते हो. It's like buying a house. You go to a broker, right? कि अच्छे घर दिखाओ हमें, ये घर पसंद आया, ठीक है, we will buy this, and then they do all the documentation for you. It's similarly shares में broker होते हैं. Okay, so it is like to be like or similar to, abided somewhere in the middle half, imposed by law, something implied by law. Quasi means apparent, सब गूगल किया तुम लोग भाई, सब गूगल किया. हाफ क्वेश्चन क्वासी मीन्स पार्टली, क्वासी मीन्स नॉट रियल, पूरा गूगल मार दिया. ठीक है, बट आई गिव यू एन एग्जांपल व्हिच इज राइट. ऑल योर आंसर्स आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट. बट क्वासी का मतलब क्या है? क्वासी का मतलब सिंपल एग्जांपल देते हैं. इफ यू हैव एन एल्डर ब्रदर और यू हैव एन एल्डर सिस्टर, ठीक है, मान लो आपका एल्डर ब्रदर और एल्डर सिस्टर, और इफ यू आर द एल्डर ब्रदर और सिस्टर, you go and act like your mother or father. For your younger sister, अपने भाई बहन के लिए, you act like your father. You scold your little brother, ये क्या कर रहा है, वो क्या कर रही है, this is wrong, this is right, क्या कर रहा है, डांट दिया, डपट दिया, right? You're acting like your father or your parents to your younger siblings, right? The elder brother or sister acting like a father, acting like a mother for the younger siblings, or quasi papa, quasi mummy, right? If you can consider your elder brother or sister, or if you are the elder brother sister, you are quasi mummy or quasi papa, right? That means you're acting like it. You have the authority to do that, but you are not mummy or papa, right? You're not the parent, but you are acting like one because of your position for the younger sibling, right? That is quasi. अब समझ आ गया? Partially, not by. It doesn't mean, it means partially or not real. That is what you're writing Google में, right? But this is what the basic, अगर याद रखना है, what is quasi is your बड़े भाई बहन acting like your mother or father. तुम मम्मी पापा है नहीं but बन रहा है अपने आप को, right? So that is quasi, right? Great. Now what is quasi legislative और what is quasi judicial भैया, ये क्या मतलब हुआ, मुझे समझा दिया जाए फटाफट से, which is simple. So SEBI के functions हैं, right? SEBI is quasi legislative, quasi judicial and quasi executive. Okay, now the country, you know, India के अंदर there are 3 or 4 pillars of any constitution. There are 4 pillars of any parliamentary constitution or a parliamentary country, जो कि हमने civics में पढ़ा है क्लास 9th में, if you remember, right? 6th में भी पढ़ा था, क्लास 9th में भी पढ़ा था if you had civics, right? Legislative, what is legislative? Legislative is like legislative assembly, parliament होता है, MP होता है, MLAs होता है, people who are making rules, people who are making law, right? अपने parliament में they are legislative assembly, they are legislative body, they are making laws and rules for the country, right? Judicial क्या है? High court, Supreme Court, District Court. The courts, the judicial system of a country is the judicial pillar of the constitution, right? And executive, right? Executive are the bureaucrats. Executive body are the bureaucrats, people working in the government who have to execute the legislative rules and laws, who have to take care of the judicial system as well. All the lawyers, all the people, all the bureaucrats, all the IAS officer, IAS or IRS officers, IPS officers, ये सब executive body होते हैं. Similarly, SEBI को ये सारी पावर्स दी गई है फॉर द सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट. SEBI को ये सारी पावर्स दी गई है स्पेशली फॉर द सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट, नॉट फॉर द कंट्री, ओनली फॉर द सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट जहाँ पे शेयर्स वगैरह हो रहे हैं. सो इट कैन एक्ट्स, इट इज नॉट द legislative body, but it acts like a legislative body. It is not the High Court or Supreme Court. It acts like a High Court and Supreme Court for the securities market. It is not the IAS. It does not have IAS, IPS officers working specifically, but it has those officers of SEBI. CA banke. So CA banke, you have these forms wherein you fill your examination for SEBI. Once you become a chartered accountant, there are job openings in SEBI also. You sit for those exams and you become the officer of the SEBI. Excellent job opportunity if you want to pursue something like that, if you're interested in that, right? Lavish office in Mumbai, great job, great thing if you want to pursue that. I'm just giving you a hint. If you can read about it on Google, right? SEBI also has these officers, and chartered accountants can sit for those examinations to become an officer of the SEBI, right? So quasi executive are those officers who are ensuring everything is functioning in the stock markets in the right way or not. Okay. Legislative means SEBI drafts regulations, rules, and policies for the securities market. It has that thing. It can do that, right? SEBI passes rulings and orders in its judicial capacity. That means it acts like a high court or a Supreme Court for the securities market, right? It is taking those decisions. If something is going wrong, people can come and complain, and it has to take decisions. It acts like a judicial system for the stock market, right? Then we have executive. It conducts investigations, enforcement actions in its executive function. It is doing investigation. It is enforcing actions on people who are doing the wrong thing, finding scams, finding frauds in its executive capacities, acting. All its officers are after the life of all these companies which are on the stock exchange. So three functions it does under its responsibilities. To fulfill its responsibilities are quasi-legislative, quasi-judicial, and quasi-executive. Quasi-legislative, quasi-judicial, and quasi-executive. Three kinds of functions that SEBI does, right? Proxy, right? Quasi is also like proxy. Balasandra, that really depends on the broker, how much percentage they take. It differs from business to business, from broker to broker, right? There is no fixed percentage. Absolutely, Samir, that is right. Hey Rahul, you're late. You're saying good morning, Abhi. We have been studying for 30 minutes, sir. Right? If you have to invest in foreign countries, that also regulated by SEBI, absolutely yes. By both SEBI and RBI. दोनों regulate करते हैं. Because it's foreign exchange, right? आप dollars में खरीदोगे तो RBI भी आएगा और SEBI भी आएगा. If you want to invest in foreign country, RBI भी आएगा, SEBI भी आएगा. दोनों आपके पास आएंगे, पूछेंगे सर, give us information. Right? So percentage commission, you have to check that. When you start investing, every broker has a different percentage charge. It's like a business for them. They decide how much money they want to charge from the customer, right? There is no fixed percentage. Yes, Nancy, BCK only MCQs. You will only have MCQs in BCK. So the foundation, I think. Right? Okay, let us go on to understand. I've told you this very simply. Shuru se I'm telling you how is SEBI helping in facilitating the businesses, right? Developing of India's capital market so that businesses can come and access money from the general public, right? So that businesses can come and take money from the general public. It is developing that environment, that platform. It is facilitating overseas entities also to come and participate in Indian capital market and vice versa. So a foreign investor can come and invest in an Indian company. SEBI also gives that opportunity in conclusion, in consultation with RBI. Okay. So what it does is if a foreign investor wants to come and invest their money in India, SEBI will take care of that. SEBI will regulate that in consultation with RBI. So it is also giving that facility, right, for a country to grow. Number 3, responsible for investors' faith, right? That is like people like you and me are investing in the stock market and the capital markets, and it is responsible to ensure that our money is in the safe hands. Hamara paisa safe hai. It is also what SEBI does to facilitate businesses, to facilitate overall business growth in the country, right? So 3 things how it's facilitating businesses. Number 1, developing an environment and platform where companies can come and take money from the general public for their requirements and the country can grow as a whole. Number 2, it is facilitating international people, overseas people, foreign companies to come and invest in India as well. Number 3, it is responsible for taking care of the needs, wants, and issues of the investors like you and me who are putting in our hard-earned money into the stock market, right? Cool. Any difference in investment and FPI, FII and FPI? Like what is FII and FPI? So you're saying foreign institution and foreign personal investment. Obviously, institution is a big organization. Personal is private, is single individual, right? Great. Okay, so facilities. What is facilities? Ankit, very simple English. What facilitates? Facilitates का मतलब है it supports, it helps, right? It supports, it helps overseas entities who want to invest. Facilitate का मतलब है support कर, right? Okay. Question on the screen, please, very quickly. Which of the following does SEBI not cater to? Which of the following does SEBI not cater to? Quickly answer. Which of the following SEBI does not cater to? Quickly answer, everyone. All right. See. I see only a few people answering. Why is that? So I want all of you to answer, please, quickly, very quickly. Mm-hmm. A lot of saying intermediaries, government organization, government organization. What else? Correct. Okay. So the right answer is government organizations, right? It is not catering to government. It is catering to investors, to intermediaries, your brokers and mutual funds, and security issuing companies. It is not taking care of the government organizations, right? Absolutely. Great. 99% of the people are correct. Intermediaries में confuse हो गए फिर से है ना? Intermediaries are brokers, mutual funds. These are intermediaries, right? These are intermediaries, right? These are intermediaries. Sir, market intermediary अभी पढ़ा था. Intermediaries are brokers and mutual funds, right? Okay. Next one, very quickly. Number 3, organization. Number 3, institution, which is helping facilitating businesses in India, is Competition Commission of India, CCI. Competition Commission, the simple logic है. There should be fair competition in the economy in the country. Fair competition होना चाहिए at any given point in time. Okay, there should be fair competition in the country at any given point in time for each and every business. There should be fair competition. There should be fair competition, right? That is what Competition Commission of India ensures through its responsibilities and functions. That at any given point in time, किसी को ज़्यादा फायदा ना हो, किसी को problem ना हो. A big player should not dominate a small player. A small player should not form a group with many small players and then put pressure on the big player, vice versa, right? So that there is a fair competition, there is fair chance for every business to grow in the country. There is Competition Commission of India with its responsibilities, with its options, with its functions to ensure that, right? Right. What does cater mean? Cater क्या होता है? Cater means simply to help. Again, same words, right? English vocabulary, you all have to work a lot in English vocabulary also. Office में जाओगे, what लग जाएगी there, right? You have to learn so much on English. You have to improve your English through these things only, right? Study material की English is absolutely basic. Is absolutely basic, right? Really need to work on vocabulary as well, guys. Cater means to help, to support. It caters to them. It looks after them, right? Sure, Ankit. All the PPTs will be uploaded for sure. If the government organization issuing security, then what would be the answer? See, simple as that. If a government company is issuing, government company या तो organization बोला है. देखो, security issuing companies में government companies भी तो आ गए. Any company which is issuing shares is covered by SEBI. Is covered by SEBI. अभी government organization, right? If it is not listed on the stock exchange, it is not listed है. These are all listed companies. Why are you getting confused? इतना ज़्यादा क्यों सोच रहे हो? The question is very simple. You do not have to overthink. ये भी exam में बहुत बड़ी problem, right? A big problem a lot of you will face is overthinking. Simple question है, you will start thinking अच्छा government organized but government की company share नहीं थे, सोचना ही क्यों है ऐसा, right? Why are you overthinking the question? The question is very simple. A आता है, B आता है, D आता है, C नहीं आता है, आंसर करो next. You start thinking अच्छा government organization लिखा है. Now if you have to overthink तो पूरा overthink करो फिर, right? Organizations लिखा है. अच्छा अगर एक नहीं 10 कंपनी है तो फिर तो वो करेंगे. S पकड़ लो फिर तो, right? You don't have to overthink a question. The questions are straightforward, right? You'll overthink and lose marks, right? Okay. Quickly, the Competition Commission of India for a foreign portfolio investment. See, foreign portfolio investment is a type of FII. Okay, Ankit, your foreign portfolio investment is type of FII. Okay, competition is good for customers and economy. Absolutely. लेकिन कंपटीशन क्या बोला है यहाँ पे सर फेयर कंपटीशन बोला है नो कंपटीशन नहीं बोला है what they're saying is there should be fair होना चाहिए but fair होना चाहिए right it shouldn't be someone is dominating the other person right it should be a fair competition there should be competition it's good for the economy but it should be fair okay with increased competition producers will have maximum incentive to innovate and specialize that is why competition is important. This would result in reduced cost and wider choice to the customer. This is why competition is important. But a fair competition is essential to achieve this objective. Fair competition होना चाहिए. Competition होना चाहिए, but fair competition होना चाहिए. For example, Standard Oil and Microsoft Corporation. What are these? These are historically fair competition. What have they done? Microsoft has won over the competition, right? इसने क्या किया? Microsoft or Facebook, if you have seen the movie The Social Network, right? Facebook ने, it was not a fair competition. It was not a fair deal. The few people dominated that place. Your Mark Zuckerberg dominated the other founders, other investors. बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर क्रिएट किया, लीगल बैटल हुआ. It was not fair. It was not fair. आज तक सबको पता है it is not fair. Right? So such things don't happen. Like Microsoft also did a lot of unfair practices to become so big. Initially, when they were growing, they did a lot of unfair. बहुत सारी companies खरीद लो, dominate करो, put a position, stop contracts with them, tell suppliers कि if you work with them, we will not work with you. They start giving dhamkis, right? All these companies have done in the past. To resolve that thing doesn't happen again in the economy for the businesses. All these steps are taken, right? All these steps like Competition Commission of India banana, they are taken to facilitate the businesses. Okay. There should be free and fair competition in the market, which gives the following benefits. If the question comes, why do you need competition in the market? Why do you need competition in a country? Why do you need competition in an economy? What are the benefits of competition? What are the advantages of competition? Why is competition so important? Some questions का आंसर ये रहा. It encourages innovation. It increases efficiency. It punishes the laggards. That means lazy people. It punishes the lazy people. Okay. अगर आप lazy हो तो competition आपको हटा देगा. Right. So don't be lazy. Be quick. Be very fast in your business. Punishes the laggards means it punishes the lazy businesses. It pushes them out of the market. It boosts choice, improves quality, and reduces cost. Right. कस्टमर के पास बहुत ज्यादा चॉइस आ जाती है. एब्सोल्युटली क्यों नहीं आएगी? 100% आएगी. कस्टमर के पास बहुत ज्यादा चॉइस आ जाती है बिकॉज ऑफ कंपटीशन एंड इट इंश्योर्स अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ एक्सेप्टेबल क्वालिटी एट अफोर्डेबल प्राइस. प्राइजेस रिड्यूस हो जाते हैं कंपटीशन की वजह से, राइट? इफ समवन सेज 10 रुपीज का, अदर सेज 9 रुपीज का, कोई आके कहते हैं 8 रुपीज का, दिस 10 वाला विल ऑल्सो हैव टू कम टू 8, 9 वाला विल ऑल्सो कम टू एट 8. सो अफोर्डेबल प्राइजेस अपने आप बन जाते हैं. Costs are reduced because you are innovating. You are becoming more efficient to beat the competition. You do all of this to win over competition. You do all of this to beat the competition in the economy, in the market. And that is how it benefits everyone. अच्छी quality के products बनेंगे, lesser cost, lesser prices, better quality, more employment opportunity, more fair competition, more options to the customer, right? More like bigger the economy becomes, right? If it's a fair and free competition, everyone can come in and do a business. If they can bring something new to the market, it's a free and fair competition. So let's say कोई Pepsi बना रहा है, you start your own company. A lot of companies have come, right? Pepsi, Coca-Cola को earlier we only used to have soft drinks, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Thumbs Up. Now you have paper boat, now you have real juices, now you have coconut water bottled, now you have milkshake, now you have Amul की cold coffee. Free and fair competition है. People are given more options. आपको जो चाहिए आप वो खरीदो, right? That is what the benefit of competition is, right? Great. So these are the benefits of competition in an economy, in a country. Encourages innovation, increases efficiency, punishes the laggards. That means it punishes the lazy businesses, boosts choice, improves quality and reduces cost, ensures availability of acceptable quality at affordable prices. Better quality, lesser prices is what it ensures for the customer, right? We'll come to that. We'll come to that now. Jio ka case was an unfair. They tweaked the Competition Act. They acted in a very unfair way, right? Jio free sim deke, free internet deke. They were using their power and influence to win over, which is unfair. Everyone, Airtel put a case on them. Vodafone did a case on them. All these big companies did a legal case, had a legal action against Jio because they were giving free SIMs, and so Jio was also penalized. Jio ko penalty bhi bharni padi thi as a fine, but then again that does not matter because they captured a lot of market because of it. So Jio thought कि ठीक है penalty भर देंगे, market ले लेते हैं. So that is how they function. That is how their business functions, right? So it was unfair for sure. For that they were penalized also. But then again they captured a lot of market penalty भर के. It's like foul karo, but goal to ho gaya na. In a football, what you do is you give a foul, but then you also score a goal. So you're like, goal se matlab penalty to kya hi farak pad raha hai, right? Okay. Now, how does it ensure that businesses are safe or there is free and fair? That there is free and fair competition. वो करता क्या है? How does Competition Act? How does Competition Commission of India (CCI)? How does Competition Commission of India ensures a free and fair competition in the country? Right. What it does is it prevents and punishes anti-competitive business practices. Right. It prevents, रोकने की कोशिश करता है, and it punishes. It puts fines, it puts charges, it punishes the businesses which are doing anti-competitive practices, which are undergoing anti-competitive business practices. उनको punish करता है, right? It prevents them from doing any anti-competitive business, and it punishes those businesses, right? By firms and unnecessary government interference also. This is the key word. भैया exam के लिए remember this thing very, very carefully. It also prevents unnecessary government interference in the market, right? It also prevents unnecessary government interference in the market. Remember this thing for sure. What does this mean? It means अगर कल को government आके बोलती है नहीं, give फायदा to let's say Reliance, okay? The Competition Commission will say, boss, that is not possible. Sorry, there has to be free and fair competition. We cannot give any benefit to Reliance or let's say XYZ company or a Tata or a Birla or any company that the government prefers, right? They will ensure that the government or a political influence is not there in the market. Market में free and fair competition होना चाहिए. That is what Competition Commission of India does. That is what the Competition Act. These organizations are independent of the government, right? RBI हो गया, SEBI हो गया, Competition Commission हो गया. Next we'll study IRDAI. All these organizations are independent of the government. Government की नहीं सुनते ये लोग. These are independent autonomous bodies, right? They are not working as per government की wish. They are autonomous bodies to ensure कि देश में सब ठीक चलता है. सरकार तो हर 5 साल बदल जाएगी. शेयर मार्केट का पैसा थोड़ी ना कोई और लेके चला जाएगा आपका, right? You have invested in share market let's say for 20 years and the government changes after let's say 5 years. इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना कि आपका SEBI change हो जाएगा पूरा, नहीं. So that is why these are autonomous bodies, right? How does it do that? ये prevent और punish कैसे करता है? Anti-competitive agreements को prohibit करता है. Prohibit means does not allow. It does not allow anti-competitive agreements. What are anti-competitive agreements? That means if you and me are in a contract, I say, ठीक है, you will only work with me. You will not work with any other business. If you work with any other business, I will not work with you. क्या कर रहा हूँ? I'm giving you धमकी. I am doing an anti-competitive agreement. I'm saying नहीं, मेरे साथ काम करना सिर्फ मेरे साथ काम करना पड़ेगा. right? That is not how it works. I, as a business, want to have 10 customers. I want to go to 10 businesses, and one of my businesses says, मेरे से काम करना तो just work with me. Do not go to other 9 businesses. Boss, ऐसा नहीं होता, right? So it prohibits. It does not allow such contracts. It does not allow such agreements. Abuse of dominant position. So let's say if Tata comes and says कि भाई जितनी भी छोटी-छोटी companies हैं, Tata comes and says जितनी भी छोटी-छोटी companies हैं all over India, all of सबको मैं खरीद रहा हूँ. I am buying every company. I have so much money. I'm buying every company, and only I will do the business in India, right? Now the Competition Commission of India will say, boss, not possible. We will not allow you to do that. You cannot do that, right? As per law, Competition Act is a law. As per law, you cannot do that. As per law, you cannot do that. You cannot abuse your dominant positions. You cannot use or abuse your power, right? Because छोटे-छोटे उनको business चाहिए भाई, घर पे थोड़ा बिठा दोगे, right? All the small shops जो से ये लो पैसे लो घर बैठो, मैं ही सिर्फ काम करूंगा आप सब घर बैठो. That is not how the economy works, right? It regulates combinations, right? Acquisitions, acquiring control, and M&A. So if a company is doing mergers and acquisitions, any company in India does a mergers and acquisition, it has to go through Competition Act of 2002. It cannot do that without them. Why is that so? Let's say there are 3 companies in the market, A, B, and C. Okay, A is number 1 company, B is number 2 company, C is number 3 company in terms of size. अभी 1 को beat करने के लिए 2 and 3 join hands. Okay, 2 and 3 join hands, and they start abusing their dominant position now. B और C मिलके बहुत बड़े बन गए. A छोटा सा रह गया इनके सामने, right? And they start abusing their dominant position to push A out of business. इसको बंद करवा देंगे, right? So CCI says, boss, this is not possible. ये fair कहाँ से हुआ? This is not fair competition, right? You can work together, but you cannot create an acquisition. You cannot create a company which is abusing its dominant position, right? You cannot do that. So that is what it regulates, combinations like mergers and acquisitions, or one company buying another company. If A कल को says, ठीक है, I will take a loss, but I will buy C company, ताकि B को बाहर निकाल दे, acquire कर लेती हूँ C को, right? That is also not what CCI will allow. This is not fair competition, right? That is what it happens. If SEBI does something wrong, you always have High Court and the Supreme Court, right? You always have the High Court and the Supreme Court in the country. SEBI कुछ गलत करता है, आपको RBI से कोई दिक्कत है, आपको CCI से कोई दिक्कत है, right? You feel these organizations are not functioning, are not doing the right thing. They are also doing some scam. You feel, go and complain it in the High Court, in the Supreme Court, right? उसके ऊपर तो देश में कुछ भी नहीं है, right? Supreme Court is the uppermost judicial body in the country. उसके नीचे सब कुछ आएगा. You want to complain against RBI, go and complain against RBI to the Supreme Court, to the High Court. They will look after it, right? Are exclusive agreements and anti-competitive agreements the same? Yes, anti-competitive agreements के अंदर you have a lot of types, ठीक है? उसके अंदर exclusive agreements हुआ, non-competitive, non-decision making, dominant position, non-compliance, fees, charges, deposit money, security money, ये सब करके बहुत सारा कुछ होता है, right? So anti-competitive agreements is a broad term which has a lot of other agreements. Don't get into that. Syllabus में we have anti-competitive in some words, right? So that is what you can focus on. Great. Okay. Now, to prevent practices having an adverse effect of competition, एक ही चीज को 5 तरीके से is what we are explaining, right? To protect the interest of the consumers, obviously, to ensure freedom of trade, obviously, replaces, this is me, okay? So Competition Commission Act 2002 is replacing MRTP Act, okay? Monopolistic and Restrictive Trade Practice Act, पहले इसका ये नाम था, अब इसका नाम करके the Competition Act 2002 में कर दिया गया. Earlier, there was Monopolistic and Restrictive Trade Practice Act, MRTP Act, right? What does it do? It ensures freedom of trade, protects the interest of the consumers, prevents practices having adverse effect on the competition, right? The Competition Act 2002 provides for the establishment of Competition Commission of India. So CCI, Competition Commission of India, is formed under Competition Act of 2002. Simple logic. इसमें तो ज़्यादा समझने का ही नहीं, right? So if CCI के होने के बाद भी Reliance कुछ किया तो फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, CCI का क्या मतलब है? Which they did a penalty. Okay, so what happened is CCI imposed a penalty. They fined Reliance for their malpractices, for their wrong practices. But that is how it is, right? What happens is they can only punish. They can punish the company. But these companies are so big, they do not care about cost. Okay. So a lot of startups, a lot of big companies these days are not making money. They're just spending money like anything to capture the market. India, itni badi market hai. You have to spend so much money to capture people, right? To make them your customer. And those are some things that some companies are unethical, some companies are ethical. Really depends on how you understand a company. It really depends, right? How much, I don't have much knowledge about it. I haven't studied that thing. But the more you study about a company, you understand how they function, right? Rajat, your board classes and your foundation are clashing. So probably I think institute would come with a plan for it. If not, give your board exams, boss. Foundation to baad mein de sakte, board nahi de paoge baad. My guide will be, probably institute will come with a resolution. Probably they will push some dates. I don't know. I'm not confirming. I don't know about it. I am just guessing. But if not, please 12th ka exam de dena. Foundation baad mein you can give, right? Okay. Question on the screen. I just explained this. A quick revision of what we have just studied. A very quick thing, what we have just studied. Okay. Quickly answer this. And then we will go to the next topic. No, if you have a very heavy advertisement, it is not unfair. If you have the money, you can advertise as much as you can. Until and unless you are stopping others from doing advertisement, right? Until and unless you are creating a pressure on other companies कि भाई तुम ऐड नहीं कर पाओगे, सिर्फ मैं ऐड करूंगा, then it is unfair. But if you say, boss, you get money from your bank, you get money from your general public, you get funding from the investors and do advertisement, कौन रोक रहा है आपको? I think so, Anushka, right? I think too. Probably institute might revise the date, but I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait. But till then, 12th पे ज़्यादा focus करना भाई. Because 12th के marks तो हर जगह use होंगे. Even if you want to pursue any masters later in your life, 12th के marks हर जगह आएंगे. If you plan to do a CAT, see practical है. If you want to go for CAT or an MBA later, right? 12th के marks तो include होते हैं वहाँ पे. Foundation के marks नहीं होते वहाँ पे include. 12th के होते हैं. So now you know what is more important for you if they are clashing. I'll take a test in the next class, Manisha. That is the last class. तब test लेंगे. आज तो we'll complete chapter number 5. The correct answer is yes. Yes. The correct answer is yes. ये सब लोग जो no बोल रहे हैं, ये क्या सोते हुए पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं आप लोग? ये क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे? ये देखो, अभी मैंने बोला यहाँ पे. It prevents unnecessary government interference in the market. This is what we just studied, boys and girls. Where is your concentration? Right? It prevents unnecessary government. Question वही है, does it cover reducing government interference? Yes. No कौन बोल रहा है ये? Right? The answer is yes, it reduces government interference. Okay. Now CCI का board कैसा दिखता है? Chairperson and 6 members appointed by the central government. Okay. There is a chairperson and there are 6 members. 6 members appointed by the central government. Okay. वही फिर से protect the interest of consumers, promote sustained competition, eliminate practices and adverse effect on competition, ensure freedom of trade in the markets of India. वही 4 पॉइंट बार बार वही हैं, सेम पॉइंट्स जो ये थे पीछे भी वही पॉइंट्स थे, पीछे भी यही 4 पॉइंट्स हैं, इसके पीछे भी वही 4 पॉइंट्स हैं, राइट? द पॉइंट्स रिमेन द सेम, ओके, बट इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ अ chairperson and 6 members appointed by the central government. Okay, now CCI endeavors to do the following. वही चीज, that is what I'm saying. They are repeating the same thing in the same way. Why? So that because you understand the essence, you start understanding the answer कैसे लिखते हैं. Okay, make the markets work for the benefit and welfare of the consumers. Right? इसके endeavors क्या है? What are the endeavors? Endeavors means what are its motives? Endeavor का मतलब है motive क्या है? Right? What is its motive? क्या आप अचीव क्या करना चाहते हैं, राइट? दे वांट टू मेक द मार्केट्स वर्क फॉर द बेनिफिट एंड वेलफेयर ऑफ द कंज्यूमर्स, फेयर एंड हेल्दी कंपटीशन इन द मार्केट, right? To carry out competitive advocacy and spread information on benefits of competition among the stakeholders, and implement competition policies with an aim to effectuate the most efficient utilization of economic resources. Simple है. What does it mean? Fair and healthy competition होगा, work for the benefit and welfare of the consumer, समझ आ गया, समझ आ गया. Carry out competitive advocacy means if someone comes and complains कि भाई वो गलत कर रही है, सही कर रही है, you will be the advocate to find out what is right and what is wrong. CCI will do that. Okay, implement competition policies. ऐसी policies बनाएगी for most efficient utilization of economic resources. For most efficient utilization of economic resources, they will implement competition policies, right? Most efficient utilization of economic resources, right? एकदम पैसा correctly use हो, right? Yes, everything is appointed by the central government because Dhanesh, you elect the central government. ठीक है ना? Always remember, आप central government को आप ही power दे रहे हो. You are the citizens, you are above 18 years of age. You will vote for the country. You are giving power to the central government. That is why central government is appointing. So be very, very aware of who you vote for, how you vote for, study everything, right? समझो. That is why we take a lot of things lightly. कोई समझता ही नहीं है. Vote is why is it so important? Because सब कुछ central government को दिया जाता है करने के लिए. And you are the one who is electing the central government, right? So that is why be very aware, be very, you should know who you are voting for, right? इसीलिए ये पढ़ के यही समझ आता है. That is why we say education is so important, क्योंकि पढ़ के समझ आता है कि हो क्या रहा है, right? Okay, let us go on. कि बिजनेस फैसिलिटेशन तो हमको समझ आ ही गया. अभी हमने पूरा पढ़ लिया व्हाट इज सीसीआई डज, क्यों करता है, कैसे करता है, किसके लिए करता है, हाउ इज इट हेल्पिंग. फेयर कंपटीशन हेल्प्स बिजनेसेस टू थ्राइव. दैट मींस to grow. It helps businesses to grow as they have fair grounds to compete and flourish, right? This is ensured by Competition Commission of India. That is how it is a business facilitator, which this chapter is. It gives a ground, it gives a place, a platform for the businesses, a fair competition. They can go and grow their businesses there, right? Great. Absolutely, Misha. CCI may be chartered accountants. After chartered accountants can work. Probably the point is you have to be at a certain level. ऐसे आप 2-3 साल बाद CA बन के नहीं कर सकते. You have to have 10-15 years of experience of the industry, and only then you can be part of CCI in some fashion or the other, right? 100% होता है. Every government organization has openings for chartered accountants. So if you're interested in working in any of these organizations, once you become a chartered accountant, start finding out कैसे काम करते हैं, right? Google what are the forms, क्या examination देना होता है. All the government organizations need an examination. Once you clear a CA, then you give an examination. उसके बाद you get an interview crack करोगे, and then you get a job there, right? Mock test is very important. आपका mock test का ये question ही wrong है. Is it important or not? Or not तो आने ही नहीं चाहिए. It is important. I will take chapter 6 also. Hmm. See, some companies like using other companies' name, like Five Star Dairy Milk का नाम use कर लेते हैं ad में, or a Dairy Milk is using a Five Star ad. So these are bit illegal. So that is what I'm saying. Companies are becoming very brave. They are doing this and they're waiting. अगर कोई मेरे पे केस करेगा, we'll get a negative publicity, but publicity तो मिलेगी, right? So companies nowadays are using it as a marketing technique. Negative publicity भी तो एक kind की publicity है. It's even free publicity. अभी like you are talking about Five Star and Dairy Milk, okay? Like that is what they wanted to do. They wanted you to talk about their product, and that is what you're doing. So ये एक marketing technique बन चुकी है, right? Great. Let us go on to the fourth and the final non-funding. देखो, CCI किसी को पैसा नहीं देता है. SEBI is not giving money to anyone. RBI is not giving money to businesses directly. किसी भी बिजनेस को डायरेक्टली पैसा नहीं दे रहा. सेबी किसी बिजनेस को डायरेक्टली पैसा नहीं दे रहा. IRDAI डायरेक्टली किसी को पैसा नहीं दे रहा है. कॉम्पिटिशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया इज नॉट गिविंग मनी टू एनी बिजनेस डायरेक्टली. दैट इज व्हाई दीज आर नॉन फंडिंग. दैट इज व्हाई दीज आर नॉन फंडिंग गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, राइट? इसके बाद फंडिंग पड़ेंगे नाबार्ड, बट दीज आर नॉन फंडिंग. दीज आर नॉट गिविंग मनी टू एनी बिजनेस. IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, इंश्योरेंस बिजनेसेस के ऊपर ये सुपरवाइजर बैठा है, राइट? इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज, इंश्योरेंस बिजनेसेस के ऊपर दिस इज व्हाट द हेडिंग बॉडी इज, व्हिच इज टेकिंग केयर, व्हिच इज रेगुलेटिंग एंड डेवलपिंग द इंडस्ट्री ऑफ इंश्योरेंस इन इंडिया. ओके, राइट. Okay, we have a question, काफी long question. If you're confident of clearing foundation exam, then prefer the foundation exam. Probably that helps if you are well prepared for both the examinations. Mock test paper and final exam question paper pattern are the same. Absolutely yes. That is why it's called a mock test, right? It's a practice test. Mock test means similar to what you will see in the final examination. Okay. Autonomous apex. Apex means topmost statutory body. Statutory body means by law. Law है इसका अपना. कौन सा law है? इसका law है Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act 1999. It's an autonomous apex statutory body to regulate. That means regulate का मतलब supervise and to develop बड़ा करना insurance industry in the country, that is India. Okay. The role क्या है? The role is to protect the rights of the policy holders, like you and me, जो policy खरीद रहे हैं, and they provide registration certification to the life insurance companies and responsible for renewal, modification, cancellation, and suspension of this registered certificate, right? They tell who can do the insurance business, whether a particular set of people, whether you can start an insurance business, what are the conditions to start an insurance business, and they protect the rights of the policy holders. इंश्योरेंस वाला क्लेम नहीं दे रहा है, इंश्योरेंस वाला प्रीमियम बहुत ज्यादा चार्ज कर रहा है, इंश्योरेंस वाला इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं दे रहा है, चेक नहीं कर रहा है, राइट? अ लॉट ऑफ प्रीमियम इज आस्क्ड फॉर, कोई क्लेम रेजोल्यूशन नहीं है. इफ आई एम क्लेमिंग आई गेट नो रेजोल्यूशन. टू प्रोटेक्ट माई राइट्स आई हैव IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, right? मिशन, इसका मिशन क्या है? प्रोटेक्ट द इंटरेस्ट एंड सिक्योर फेयर ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ पॉलिसी होल्डर्स, राइट? आई चेंज द कलर, रेड के ऊपर रेड अजीब सा लग रहा है, राइट? टू प्रोटेक्ट एंड इंटरेस्ट सिक्योर फेयर ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ पॉलिसी होल्डर्स, टू ब्रिंग अबाउट स्पीडी एंड ऑर्डरली ग्रोथ ऑफ द इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री, राइट? ग्रो करनी चाहिए, इंडस्ट्री को ग्रो करना, राइट? सो दैट ऑल द पीपल इन द कंट्री आर इंश्योर्ड. किसी को कभी भी कोई दिक्कत आए, someone faces any financial trouble, there should be an insurance for them, right? To set, promote, monitor, and enforce high standards of integrity, financial soundness, fair dealing, and competence of those it regulates. That means insurance companies को regulate करता, supervise करता, check करता that they are transparent, they are fair, they are good to the policy holders, their books are neat, their financial statements are right. You as an auditor, you as a chartered accountant will have this job. Fair dealing, competence, right? To ensure speedy settlement of genuine claims, to prevent insurance fraud. Fraud तो नहीं कर रहा है, Policy holder भी fraud कर सकता है. Even the company can do a fraud, right? So it has to check both of them. It acts like a place where people can come and complain. It regulates those things, right? It takes action. It takes action where such standards are inadequate or ineffectively enforced. It takes action wherever necessary. जहां उसको लगता है कि कुछ गलत हो रहा है, बहुत ज्यादा fraud हो रहा है, some settlement is needed, people are facing a lot of problem, it goes and takes action. Let's say कोई insurance company है which is doing a lot of fraud with its policy holders, it will go to that company and tell them, boss, stop your business, we are suspending your license. So an insurance company gets a license to work, right? It goes and says, आपका license हम आज से बंद करते हैं for the next 3 months. You cannot do any business in insurance anywhere in the world, especially in India. Okay, it takes away the license. ऐसे ये action ले लेते हैं on these companies, right? Every policy has IRDAI number to ensure authenticity of policy. That is right. Great information, right? Every policy has that number. Vaisha, chapters 3 तक हमने कर लिया था. 4, 5, 6 का we'll do a test in next one. Okay. Cool. This is what the mission is. This is what the mission of IRDAI is, right? Duties, power, and its functions, right? Duties, power, and function. So Section 14 of IRDAI Act lays down its duties, powers, and functions, right? Its duty is to regulate, promote, and ensure orderly growth of insurance business and reinsurance business. Okay, insurance business भी देखेगा, reinsurance business भी देखेगा. Reinsurance means insurance of the insurance. Insurance का भी insurance करवा दो. अगर आप insurance का भी insurance करवा दो, उसको बोलते हैं reinsurance. Okay, if an insurance company insures itself with someone else, उसको बोलते हैं reinsurance. Okay, that is also what it regulates. Okay, very technical term. You don't need to understand a bit, otherwise you'll get confused. Okay, but just remember, it takes care of both insurance and reinsurance. Okay, Section 14 of IRDAI Act talks about duties, powers, and functions of IRDAI. Right? Okay, let us quickly look at duties, powers, and functions. Issue to the applicant a certificate. Let's say आप और मैं, let's say you and me start an insurance business, हम लोग को एक certificate मिलेगा. We will get a certificate that tells that, boss, you are a registered insurance company and now you can sell insurance policy to the customers. That we'll get that from IRDAI. We'll get that from IRDAI. Okay, so issues applicant certificates of registration, renew, modify, withdraw, suspend, and cancel such registrations. Cancel भी कर सकता है, suspend भी कर सकता है, withdraw भी कर सकता है, modify भी कर सकता है, renew भी कर सकता है. Right? This is what it does. It issues to the applicant a certificate. Okay. Number 2, protection of the interest of the policy holders. Protection of the interest of the policy holders in matters concerned. So क्या कर रहा है? Policy holder की protection भी कर रहा है. The interests of the policy holders are also protected by IRDAI. Okay. Specifying requisite qualifications, code of conduct, and practical training for intermediaries. आपके जो insurance agents होते हैं, right? Insurance agents जो होते हैं, right? There are a lot of insurance agents. A lot of people are insurance agents जो आपके policies बेचते हैं हम लोगों को. उनकी qualification क्या होनी चाहिए? How should they act? How should they be trained? वो सब भी IRDAI करता है. That is also what IRDAI decides. How should they be trained? उनकी training कैसे होनी चाहिए? That is also what IRDAI does. Okay. Promoting and regulating professional organizations connected with insurance and reinsurance business, right? It promotes and regulates professional organizations, right? All the professions who are, जैसे आपके a lot of FRM. You know this course called FRM, Financial Risk Management. A lot of actuarial sciences, all these professional organizations, all these professionals are also regulated by IRDAI. IRDAI closely takes their help, consults, keep them. So a lot of FRMs, a lot of actuarial science, people who are doing actuary are work in IRDAI, right? So that is what it's saying. Promoting and regulating those people as well is done by IRDAI, right? Levying fees and other charges for carrying out the purposes of this act. It also charges a registration fee, like ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, is charging a membership fee From once you become a chartered accountant, every year you have to pay a fee to be a member of the institute. Similarly, IRDI पैसा लेता है from these companies like insurance companies जैसे आपका बजाज एलियांस हो गया और आपका LIC हो गया, all these Ditto insurance, Digit insurance, all these new insurance companies, phone पे insurance दे रहा है, right? Car, HDFC, Ergo, or all these insurance regulatory, all these insurance companies, they give fees to IRDAI, right? It calls for information. अगर उसको लगता है कुछ गड़बड़ है, if IRDAI feels something is wrong, it calls for information from the insurance company. It will call Bajaj Allianz and say, boss, I think you are not doing the business right way. I want to check this. Send me the 3 years key books of accounts. Send me all the details of your business for the last 3 years. I want to check it, right? It calls for information from these companies, right? उसके पास power है, उसकी duty है, उसका function है, उसके पास power है ये करने की, right? Controlling and regulating the rates, advantages, terms and conditions that may be offered by the insurers in respect to the general insurance business, right? It also takes care कि भाई जो terms and conditions are there in the policy, terms and conditions in the insurance business that are there in the आपका document of insurance, are they fair? Are they transparent? Are they helping the insurer? आप जो insure हो रहा है उसको हेल्प करें, और इज इट मोर लाइक अ बिजनेस थिंग, पैसा कमाने के लिए बस दे रहे हैं, और विल इट जेन्युइनली हेल्प द पर्सन हु इज टेकिंग एन इंश्योरेंस? इट टेक्स कंट्रोल, इट रेगुलेट्स दैट, इट चेक्स दैट. अब ऐसा नहीं है कुछ भी टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन डाल के इंश्योरेंस बेचते रहे. इट विल चेक कि आप जो बेच रहे हैं, द इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस विच इज सेलिंग टू द कस्टमर्स, whether it is logical, whether it is transparent, whether it is fair, whether it is going to help the person, or is it more like a money making machine, right? Specifying the form and manner in which books of accounts shall be maintained. ये accounts में you will study. In accounts, like आपका schedule 3 होता है for all the other companies, ऐसे there is a different schedule of books of accounts mentioned by IRDAI, right? IRDAI एक special schedule बताता है कि the books of accounts of the insurance company should be made in this manner only. जैसे schedule 3 आपका normal companies act में है, ऐसे IRDAI act में भी एक schedule बनाया हुआ है. How do you prepare? If you look at the books of accounts of an insurance company, it is entirely different. Balance sheet or profit and loss account, income of statement, your statement of incomes and expenses is entirely different format. Okay. Regulating investment by funds by insurance companies. अब insurance companies investment भी करती हैं, right? Insurance companies have a lot of money. They invest those money somewhere. So it also checks कि आप investment कहाँ कर रहे हो. इट ऑल्सो चेक्स आप इन्वेस्टमेंट कारण हमें बताओ. अब ये तो नहीं है सारा पैसा उठा के फॉरेन भेज रहे हो, राइट? यू कलेक्ट मनी सारा, इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम कलेक्टिंग फ्रॉम द कंट्री एंड देन सेंडिंग द एंटायर मनी लेट्स से दुबई. ऐसा तो नहीं हो रहा ना. regulating the investment of the insurance companies is also what it does, because it is general public का पैसा, because it is पैसा of the general public. Regulating maintenance of margin of solvency. जैसे आपका SLR होता है ना, जैसे आपका SLR and CRR होता है, similarly margin of solvency होता है. That similarly ऐसे margin of solvency होता है, that certain amount of money you have to keep कि अगर claim भरने हैं, if some, let's say all the customers come in the next 3 months asking for a claim, कोई natural calamity हो गई, कोई natural disaster हो गया, all your customers come to you and ask for a claim, पैसा कहाँ से दोगे पैसा, right? So that is what it, margin of solvency रखना पड़ता है, so that if people come and ask for money, their money back or claim their insurance, so you should have money to give them that money, right? You should have money to pay them. That is what you should keep a margin of solvency. तो वो भी एक IRDA सेट करता है, right? Absolutely, someone was there. अभी तो I don't know, they would have checked. If you prepare insurance company, then you have to register under both Companies Act also and IR. दोनों के अंदर register करना पड़ता है. Sections are asked in the exam, not generally, but आ सकते हैं. देखो, they can come, right? They can come, not generally, but they can. It's a sure shot नहीं है that they won't ask. They can ask. I will also ask. Okay. Margin of solvency, Priyanka, I just explained, जैसे SLR, CRR था. Similarly, you have to keep certain money. If people come and ask for claim, that is margin of solvency. Okay. Then supervising the functions of tariff advisory committee, ignore this, right? This is like old tariff advisory committee was an old thing, right? You can ignore this point. Specifying the percentage of life insurance business and general insurance business to be undertaken by the insurer in rural and social sector. जैसे आपका आरबीआई बोलता है that open more banks, give easier loans in rural areas. Similarly, IRDAI also says कि भाई ज्यादा insurance rural area में दो, so that those poor people are also insured. Right? That is what IRDAI also does. But go to rural areas, help the poor people of the country, give them better insurance, give them cheaper insurance. Right? That is what it tells all the insurance companies, and exercising such other powers as it may be prescribed. That means और भी कुछ अगर एक्ट में लिख देंगे, if any other power, any other duty, any other function that is written in RDIAI Act, वो भी इसको करना पड़ेगा, right? Mr. You probably, I think at intermediate level now, you have in accounts only probably we have certain, I think there was a portion at my time wherein we studied insurance. Intermediate level pe tha, I remember. In accounts, we used to study insurance company accounts as well. Probably foundation mein nahi hoga. Intermediate pe you will study this. How do you prepare an insurance company ki books of accounts, right? Okay. Any questions till then? Otherwise, we'll go to the next thing. How is it helping the businesses? How is IRDI facilitating the businesses? क्या help कर रही है business का? How is it helping the business in the economy? Okay. In some cases, decision of these institutions clash, then who is the most powerful? They will not clash. If they clash, right? So, आप किसका clash होगा बता? How, whose decision out of these four will clash and how? Insurance related काम IRDI देखेगा, competition related competition commission देखेगा, share market related SEBI देखेगा, and money and fiscal related, economy related, insurance related, inflation related RBI देखेगा. कौन सा decision clash होगा? Any questions, or we can go to the next topic. How is IRDI facilitating or helping businesses? Great. रट्टा मारने से अच्छा you read it 3 times, boss. ऐसे randomly 3 बारी पढ़ोगे, चौथी बार खुद ही याद हो जाए. बैठ के if you start remembering everything नहीं याद होगा. You read it like 3 times. Okay. ये है. And 4th time you know what is there in the book. See, Naveen is coming. Naveen is a knowledgeable guy in terms of law. He's coming by the same Section 1 of Companies Act is telling कि all the books of accounts पे applicable होगा in all companies. The books of accounts as per Companies Act are applicable on all companies except where the provisions of companies are inconsistent with IRDAI. Right? So IRDAI specific चीजें मांगता है from insurance businesses. That is what they have. Okay. So how is it a business facilitator? Number 1, it takes steps to regulate and develop an insurance industry in the country. उससे क्या होता है? It serves as an authority to protect the interest of the insurance policy holders and creates a confidence among them. उससे क्या होता है? More businesses take the benefit of the policies of the insurance, right? Abhi, as a business person, you know, in a country that I can insure my stock, I can insure my business, I can insure my life, I can insure my assets, right? If I can insure my assets as a business person, I can insure my life as a business person. What else do I need? That is helping, that is giving me confidence if something wrong happens. if some mishappening happens, I will be covered monetarily because I am insured. Okay, that is what insurance is. That is how it is facilitating businesses and even general public, right? It is giving them confidence. If something wrong happens, you will be insured because there are a lot of insurance companies that are there for you. We have developed this industry for you. We have developed an insurance industry for you. Boss, आओ, business करो, losses का tension मत लो, you insure yourself, right? Insurance, obviously you will have to pay a premium. There's a cost to insurance. But then again, at the end of the day, if something wrong happens, you are insured. If something doesn't happen, then you will still mitigating your risk, right? That is what it does. Okay, if there is a fraud by insurance company, then will Companies Act will take action or IRDAI? See, if there is fraud by insurance company, IRDAI apne aap hi will take care of everything, right? IRDAI is the head apex autonomous body for all the insurance related. ये वाला slide देखो, क्या लिखा है? Autonomous apex statutory body to regulate and develop insurance industry in India. Insurance industry से related कुछ भी होगा, autonomous apex statutory body is IRDAI. Okay, great, awesome. Thank you, Chandan, for saying everything is clear. Right? I hope the 4 non-funding government institutions, RBI, SEBI, CCI, and IRDI, are absolutely crystal clear to everyone. Right? You will have to read, obviously, but एक idea समझ आ गई कि chapter बोल क्या रहा है. How are they a business facilitator? करते क्या हैं? Why are they there in the country? How are they helping the businesses? What are their functions? What are their responsibilities? How do they achieve that goal or motive or their endeavor? Right? We understand that. That is what the concept was. Right? Can we go on to the funding government institutions and we'll study about NABARD here? Right? Can we move to the funding government institution? Give me a yes, give me a okay, give me a go ahead. I'll wait for another 1 minute. I want everyone to tell me if I can go ahead with funding government institutions and if everything is clear on non-funding government institutions. Right? Quickly. Awesome. Thanks, Rushaga. Thanks, Ganesh, Misha. Thank you. Thank you for telling that all clear. Awesome. But practice karte rehna, right? You have to practice a lot of questions. That is for sure. Uska koi substitute nahi. Plus, for articleship and jobs, start building your network on LinkedIn. Go there, find people. That will really, really help. Abhi nahi, exam ke baad bhi kar sakte ho, right? Probably don't waste time there. Abhi, it's a social media at the end of the day. But हाँ, whenever you feel या रात को कभी relax होना है तो you can do that. Great. Thank you, Manisha, Arvind, Jayanti, Priyanka is saying go ahead, Mayur, Jyoti, Lesha, Nikhil, Jayanti, great. Harshita says I can go ahead. Manisha says I can go. Sure, we will. Priyanka, let's go ahead, sir. Okay, let us go to the next topic, that is funding government institutions. Okay, अभी ये क्या है? NABARD. Okay, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NA. This is NA, national का यहाँ है वैसे. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Okay, National NA Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NA आप सोचोगे यार A कहाँ गया? This is national का NA. Okay, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD. So this is NABARD. National का NA उठाया है. Okay, NABARD is a funding government institution. Funding का मतलब है it directly gives money to the businesses. It directly gives money to the businesses. Okay, and it is a development bank. Development bank क्या होता है? Development bank, is HDFC a development bank? No. Is ICICI Bank a development bank? No. तो फर्क क्या है? डेवलपमेंट बैंक और नॉर्मल कमर्शियल बैंक में फर्क क्या है? डेवलपमेंट बैंक्स आर डिस्टिंग्विशेबल फ्रॉम कमर्शियल बैंक्स. ओके, और जो HDFC, ICICI, SBI, पंजाब नेशनल, कैनरा बैंक, सिटी बैंक, XYZ बैंक, देना बैंक, लेना बैंक, येस बैंक, all these are commercial banks. there is a different segment called development banks. Okay, those financial institutions that provide funds and financial assistance to new and upcoming business enterprises are called development banks. But फर्क क्या है? ये रहा फर्क सर. This is the key फर्क. Unlike commercial banks, they do not accept deposits. ये रहा फर्क. Development banks do not accept Your development banks do not accept deposits. That means general public, you and me cannot go and open an account in a development bank. You and me, general public or any business or any company, कोई भी इसमें accounts नहीं होते. We do not have, no one can go and open an account in this bank. Okay, it's a development bank. It is specifically created to give out money to businesses, new and upcoming businesses, where the government wants growth, right? वहां पे पैसा पहुंचाने के लिए to make money available in the most needed, in areas where the government wants development to happen, वहां पे development banks पैसा पहुंचाते हैं. Those are development banks. बाकी सब commercial banks हैं, right? And that is why development banks do not accept deposits. आप एक सेविंग्स बैंक अकाउंट एफडी नहीं खोल सकते वहां पे, आप अपना पीपीएफ अकाउंट नहीं खोल सकते, इस बैंक में ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, राइट? इट्स अ डेवलपमेंट बैंक, इट्स नॉट अ कमर्शियल बैंक. दैट इज द मेजर डिफरेंस. नाउ इसको फिर पैसा देता कौन? हाउ इज दिस मनी, वेयर इज द मनी कमिंग for the development bank? पैसा देता, if it is not accepting deposits, if it is not taking money from us, from where is it getting the money? It is getting money from the RBI. So RBI heads the development banks. Okay, RBI हर type का bank, we study this. RBI is the apex means topmost. RBI is the topmost body for any kind of bank in the country. Okay, कमर्शियल हो, डेवलपमेंट हो, ये हो, वो हो, प्राइवेट हो, पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक हो, प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक हो, कमर्शियल बैंक हो या डेवलपमेंट बैंक हो, राइट? RBI takes care of all the kinds of banks. RBI takes care of all the kinds of banks in a country, right? RBI is a business facilitator and it keeps SLR and CRR. याद है? So RBI takes money from commercial banks, SLR और CRR रखता है. It gives that money to development bank. वो जाके वो पैसा डेवलपमेंट बैंक को दे देता है. डेवलपमेंट बैंक गोज एंड गिव्स आउट मनी, लोन, फ्री नहीं देता है, इट गिव्स आउट सब्सिडाइज्ड लोन, बहुत ही कम इंटरेस्ट रेट पे इट गिव्स आउट लोन्स टू बिजनेसेस हु नीड मनी, especially in agriculture and rural areas. NABARD specifically agriculture and rural के लिए है, right? It uses money to give out loans, subsidy, cheap loans in agriculture businesses in rural areas, right? Agriculture business कुछ भी हो सकता है, कॉटन का बिजनेस, पोल्ट्री का बिजनेस, चिकन का, एग का, राइस, व्हीट, वाटर, कुछ भी हो सकता है, डेयरी में कुछ भी, गाय भैंस, सब कुछ एग्रीकल्चर, सब कुछ रूरल है, राइट? सो to give subsidized loans, to give cheap loans for development of those areas, NABARD खोला गया है. It's a development bank, right? To support those businesses, right? Now, development banks की history देखते हैं एक बार. So how many development banks are there? NABARD is just one bank, which is like the biggest bank for agriculture and rural development. What about other industries? What about other businesses? So Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI, right? It was started as a development bank for industrial businesses. ये भी development bank था. Now it is converted into a commercial bank. अब ये IFCI commercial bank बना दिया, right? इसका काम हो गया, इंडस्ट्री लग गई इंडिया में. अब we have moved into a service sector. If you look at the economy, earlier we used to have a lot of industries develop करनी थी. 1948 independence के time we had to do a lot of industries. Now our economy is more focused on services, IT services, human resource services. हम लोग सबको engineer, chartered accountant, doctor, lawyer बना के we are selling those services to the world now, right? So we are more focused on a service industry, right? Earlier industry लगानी थी तो industrial एरिया में डेवलपमेंट बैंक खोल दिया इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया के लिए. देन इंडस्ट्रियल क्रेडिट एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन, आईसीआईसीआई बैंक भी डेवलपमेंट बैंक था 1955 में, उसको भी बाद में कमर्शियल बनाया गया. आईसीआईसीआई बैंक का फुल फॉर्म इज इंडस्ट्रियल क्रेडिट एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया. दिस ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड एज ए डेवलपमेंट बैंक. इसमें अकाउंट नहीं खोल सकता था कोई. आरबीआई यूज्ड टू पुट मनी इन इट एंड देन इट यूज्ड टू गिव टू इंडस्ट्रीज टू डेवलप, राइट. बट लेटर ऑन जब इंडस्ट्रीज बन गई कंट्री में, when industries or the economy started growing, it converted into commercial bank, right? Now, Industries Development Bank of India, that is IDBI. It is the only industrial development bank in India at present. India में सिर्फ एक industrial development bank है right now, which is called IDBI, Industries Development Bank of India. Okay. Then there is a small Industries Development Bank of India, which is called SEBI. इसी का छोटा भाई है. IDBI का छोटा भाई is SEBI, which is Small Industries Development Bank of India, which is for small industries, right? Small industries जो है, छोटे छोटे businesses across the country, उनको पैसा देने के लिए, उनको cheap loan देने के लिए, to give out cheap loans, to give them subsidized loans to those businesses, we have this development bank called SEBI, right? And for our agriculture and rural development, अपने पास NABARD है, नेशनल बैंक फॉर एग्रीकल्चर एंड रूरल डेवलपमेंट. इसके बारे में थोड़ा और पढ़ेंगे इन द सिलेबस, राइट. नेशनल बैंक फॉर एग्रीकल्चर एंड रूरल डेवलपमेंट इज ऑल्सो अ डेवलपमेंट बैंक, नॉट अ कमर्शियल बैंक, राइट. ओके, क्वेश्चंस. ऑसम. एक क्विज लेंगे समीर, नेक्स्ट क्लास में लेंगे, आज सिलेबस कंप्लीट करेंगे बॉस. डेवलपमेंट बैंक्स के एग्जांपल्स, दीज आर जस्ट देयर. Government, okay. Kopi Sethi, what is government? Are you trying to ask any question? I'm not getting your question. Can you rephrase that for me? I'll be happy to answer. That this means NABARD doesn't charge interest on loans. It charges, but very less. ठीक है? सस्ते loans होते हैं, cheap loans होते हैं, subsidized loans होते हैं. Free नहीं है कुछ भी, free नहीं है, but very less. Okay. Sometimes free also. So you would remember a few years back, Maharashtra mein, a lot of farmers were committing suicide because they were not able to repay loans, right? So NABARD सिर्फ loan नहीं देता. NABARD क्या करता है? Let's see. In Maharashtra, if you remember, few years back, a lot of cases were coming that farmers were committing suicide because वो loan repay नहीं कर पा रहे. So NABARD said, no problem. I will repay your loans. आप छोड़ दो, कोई बात नहीं. All the farmers, it told all the 1 lakh farmers in Maharashtra, and the amount was, let's say, 10,000 crores of loan was dependent. NABARD said, no problem. I will pay out all the loans. You guys, please don't commit suicide. Okay, so that is what it happened. So that is what NABARD does. So it is helping those areas. It is helping those development areas. Okay, so if they charge such low interest, then why we take loans from commercial banks? Because वो निखिल आपको loan नहीं देंगे, right? They only give loans to the needy. They identify who is poor, who is middle class, who is rich. So these development banks will only give to small businesses. If you're a small business, if you start a small business, approach these banks. They will give you money. But as a person, as an individual who is earning money, who is well-to-do in life, they will not give ऐसे free में loan. ऐसे वो सब आके line में लग जाएंगे, right? Who doesn't want free money? But they know who to give money. That is what they decide, right? You don't decide कि मैं भी वहीं से ले लेता हूँ. They will not give you loan. They will say that prove that you are needy. If you can prove you are needy, you can prove their eligibility criteria. You tell them I'm a farmer, I don't have money, I am very poor. They'll say okay, we'll give you a loan. But you say I am a farmer and I have a Mercedes, right? I am a farmer, I have 2 Mercedes, एक Lamborghini order की हुई है, but I am a farmer, I am a rural area. Okay, बस निकल यहाँ से. They are helping the poor. That is what a development bank does. ICAI का incorporation 1994. ICICI commercial bank 1994 में बना, right? So ICICI became a commercial bank in 1994. Earlier it was a development bank. Now you अब समझ आया chapter 3, chapter 5 कैसे mix हुआ, right? How IDBI is development bank, also people have accounts in IDBI. वो दूसरा है, अभी वो भी commercial बना दिया. But IDBI का एक, there is still a leg of IDBI which is development, right? वो full form अलग होगा, नाम सेम होगा, full form check करना अलग होगा. NBFC is equal to NDSI, Priyanka. So NBFC is non-banking, so do not confuse there, right? You will get a lot of confusion ki NBFC ke. NBFCs are entirely separate concept, okay? These are companies which are acting like banks. Those are called non-banking financial. They are not banks, but they are acting like banks, okay? They don't collect the given loan from these businesses. They collect, Priyanka, they collect. You have to repay the loan that NABARD gives you, but the interest rate is very low. Also, the time period is very much. Okay, so what happens is, let's say आप loan लेने जाओगे, you will get a loan at let's say 9 or 10%, and you have to repay in 3 years. So NABARD gives loans to poor rural and agriculture areas. What they do is they say, okay, take 5,000 rupees loan, take 10,000 rupees loan. I'll give you 15,000, 20,000, छोटी amounts के loan. They have to give to like 5 lakh farmers, 6 lakh farmers को देने हैं. So 6 lakh into 10,000 crore, so it is already 6,000 crores. Okay, so इतना बड़ा amount तो वैसे ही बन जाता है. So they give out loans saying कि all right, I'll give you 10,000 rupees and the interest rate is only 2%, and you have to give me after 5 years. 5 साल बाद देना. Okay, so that is how they're helping those people. That is how they're helping those businesses, those areas of development. Okay, वापस करना होगा. So that is very different. For Shark Tank India is not a development bank. वो तो investor है, वो तो अगले दिन ही पैसा मांग लेगा. Interest rate 12% पे देते हैं वो. If you have seen Shark Tank, they give a loan at 12%. NABARD life में 12% का loan नहीं देगा. Right? Okay. Now it's the Apex Development Bank in India, headquartered in Mumbai. Okay, headquarters का मुंबई में है with branches all over India. What it does? Why is it there? Right? It matters concerning to policy, planning, operations in the field of credit for agriculture and other economic activities in the rural areas in India. Okay, that is what it does. It is interested with all the matters relating to agricultural development, planning, all the operations that go on in the agriculture industry in India. NABARD is taking care of that. NABARD is interested with that responsibility. Okay. Most important institutions which looks after the development of it is the most important institution. Agriculture doesn't mean kheti badi. It also means cottage industry. It also includes small rural industries जहाँ पे packing हो रही है और people are making handmade goods, right? Handicraft है, right? Village industries है, other rural industries है, like पापड़ बन रहे हैं, अचार बन रहे हैं. People are making handicraft. All this is covered by NABARD. Its name is agriculture and rural development. रूरल एरिया में कोई भी बिजनेस हो रहा है, कोई भी इंडस्ट्री है, बी इट कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री, बी स्मॉल विलेज इंडस्ट्रीज, अदर रूरल इंडस्ट्रीज, एवरीथिंग इज कवर्ड बाय नाबार्ड. ओके, improving credit delivery system in the rural areas ताकि loan reaches every single person who is in need in a rural and agriculture area. That is what NABARD ensures. It coordinates the rural financing activities of all institutions engaged in development work at field level and maintains connections with the government of India, RBI, state governments and others, right? It is in always consultation. It is always connected with the government, with the RBI, with the state governments, with others. So let's say a state government asks for help from NABARD that let's say Odisha may we have a cyclone, okay? Odisha में एक cyclone आया and all the industries were swiped off, all the rural areas were swiped off, and your rural area in Odisha needs help, monetary help. So state government will go to NABARD and say, boss, we need help. Can you help us? NABARD will come there, give money to the rural people in Odisha and tell them, कोई बात नहीं, 10 साल बाद पैसे दे देना at 1% interest, right? That is what they decide. Or let's say the government of India says, I want to develop Telangana, I want to develop Kerala more, I want to develop Northeast more. Let's go to Nagaland, let's go to there and invest more money there. Let us grow businesses in those areas from a political point of view, from a military point of view. Let's say ऊपर से China आ रहा है, side से Pakistan आ रहा है. We want to develop those areas, right? If China comes and starts investing more in our northeast states, तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी, right? From a military, political, geopolitical ways. So what it does, it asks NABARD कि please ये सारा पैसा उठा के put it in northeast area, develop those areas, so that when those areas are developed, we will have more control in those areas, right? So all of this NABARD helps in. Okay, it undertakes monitoring and evaluation of projects refinance, loan for loan. that the example I was just giving you for Maharashtra farmers, right? They said, "Aap loan nahi de pare, koi baat nahi. I will pay the loan for you. I'm paying off your loans free of cost. Whenever it is needed, it also does that. Not always, whenever it is very crucial. Okay. NABARD refinances the financial institutions which finance the rural sectors as well. So let's say, wahi hai, it means one and the same. So let's say a lot of farmers took loan from ICICI Bank. Okay? ICICI Bank से loan ले लिया and then ICICI को pay नहीं कर पाए. So NABARD goes and gives money to ICICI saying, कोई बात नहीं, I'm paying on their behalf. Right? That is what NABARD does. Right? That is called refinancing. It partakes in development of institutions which help in rural economy, right? All those businesses which are also, all those institutions, NGOs, right? All those NGOs which are helping in rural areas, उनको भी support करता है. It keeps a check on its client institutes, right? Or in NGOs के ऊपर it also supervises them. It regulates the institutions which provide financial help to the rural economy. अगर जैसे आपका HDFC बैंक है, ICICI बैंक है, right? All these are also going to rural areas. So NABARD will keep a check. If you're not exploiting the farmers or the rural industries, right? It will check that HDFC, ICI, if they want to do some good work in rural area and they say, chalo, HDFC ki, let's open 2 branches in rural areas. It will go and check whether you're providing the right help. You are not dominating your position. You are not, what do I say, charging more money from the customers of rural area, right? It checks that as well. It provides training facilities, it regulates the cooperative banks and RRBs, which is rural regional banks, and manages talent acquisition through IBPS CWE. Right? You don't know to remember this very technical thing, right? Possibly will never come in examination. Very technical. Okay. Now, final thing is, it also is known for its SHG bank linkage program, which is self-help group, right? NABARD क्या कर रहा है, right? NABARD का सबसे main area तो self-help groups है. What it does is, self-help group कुछ नहीं है. Self-help group is when a lot of rural people come together, right? They pool in money. Let's say we are 10 people, सब लोग 100 रुपए डालते हैं, and it becomes 1,000 rupees. Now we give that 1,000 rupees to someone amongst us 10 people who needs that money, right? Next month we again come and put 100 rupees. This time I want 1,000 rupees. So I will take that 1,000 rupees. Similarly, ऐसे हर महीने everyone will put 100 rupees, and whoever needs that money that month, they will take that money, right? That is called self-help groups. They are creating a group to help themselves. So NABARD ऐसे groups के पास जाता है in rural areas. NABARD goes to such groups in the rural areas and tell them, if you need any help, we are there as well. Okay. If you need our support, if you need more money, if you want us to be a member of your self-help group, we can also be a member. We will also put 100 rupees every month, right? So it starts building that environment. It starts building that trust in rural areas for development, right? Now, it is also helping all just state cooperative banks and regional rural banks, right? All these commercial banks and other financial approved by RBI. That is what I'm saying. HDFC, ICICI Bank, Canara Bank जाके अगर गांव में खुल रहा है, it is going and opening in a village, and NABARD will also take care of that. NABARD उसकी भी help करेगा कि कैसे खोलते हैं, what all policies you should do, who are the right people you should give out loans to, right? NABARD helps them as well. So, and it also helps the self-help groups, right, which are mainly composed of poor women. Self-help groups are in India, they are very famous. They are very famous amongst women of villages, right? So NABARD goes and tells them, हमें भी member बना लो अपने group का. We will also keep adding money, right? So NABARD also has a portfolio of watershed development, tribal development. Jab we talk about rural development, it includes so many things, right? Watershed development हो गया, tribal development हो गया, farm innovation हो गया, farm technology, your agriculture technology, all these startups which are coming in agro area, in the agriculture area, NABARD is helping them. NABARD is supporting them, right? So that is everything covered in rural. इसलिए बहुत बड़ा है. Now think about this. 60% of India's population is doing agriculture, and NABARD is the biggest bank which is helping them. तो कितना बड़ा है NABARD, right? 60% of the Indian population is still agriculture based, and NABARD is their biggest development bank. So imagine how big NABARD is, and it is regulated by RBI. Okay, right. NABARD will also come in SEG in cities? No. Only agriculture and rural. उसके नाबार्ड के नाम में रूरल और एग्रीकल्चर, सिटी में कैसे आएगा? Profit margin. NABARD is not there to make profit. If CRR given by RBI to NABARD falls, and if the common customers come and ask for the money, then we're going to kill. Such conditions are very highly unlikely. But if that happens, right, the government has gold also. I'm just giving you extreme case. सरकार के पास सोना पड़ा रहता है, right? So they sell off that gold to some other country, पैसा लेके आपको दे देंगे. But ऐसे chances बहुत कम, right? There is a question on the screen. I would really want all of you to solve that very quickly. I would want all of you to solve that very quickly as well. Absolutely, Nisha. The main endeavor is to develop the country, right? Be it funding, be it non-funding. उनका motive है देश को develop करना. Absolutely. Great thought, great understanding there. Okay, I have an answer from Jyoti. What about others? Very quickly. Answer this. C. Somebody says B. The following statements talk about public policy, but one of them is false. Find the one. It is a collective effort. It is always formulated with a positive intent. It is what the people of country want the government to do. It focuses on goals and results. What is the right answer? One of them is false. Quickly. And the correct answer is C. It is what the people of the country want the government to do. No. It is what the government of the country want its people to do. That is public policy. Public policy is what the government wants the people to do is public policy, not what the people of the country want the government to do. It's what the government wants the people to do. Right? That is public policy. Okay. Quickly, another question. We have like 2-3 minutes left. ये question solve करिए and also ask any questions if you have. Probably we'll wrap up the session and meet you for the last class on Thursday. जहाँ पे 1 hour में we'll do chapter number 6 very quickly. Very quickly chapter 6 करेंगे. We'll have some questions of quiz, tough questions, 7, 8, 10 questions जितने हो पाएंगे I'll prepare for you. And we will take up some doubts, clarifications for exam related, course related, syllabus related. Solve this question quickly and then let us wrap up for today. Right. Okay. Answer I have B, which is health of farmers. B, tribal development. Okay. NABARD as a development bank is concerned with the various segments and issues except is it self-help groups, health of farmers, watershed or tribal? Right. Quickly. Ab bhi pada. Simple, very simple, straightforward question. Right. Okay. B. The correct answer is B, which is health of the farmers. Health of the farmers. All right. Last 1-2 minutes. Any questions, any doubts you have? Otherwise, let us wrap up for today. Chapter number 5 is also done. Congratulations. We have chapter number 6 bacha hai, and the last session is on Thursday. We'll do that. Any questions, any doubts? And let us wrap up for today. I'll wait for another 1-2 minutes. Quick questions I do ask that. If you have any doubts, do ask that. Great. Thanks, Vidhi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you, Naveen. How will it concern with the tribal development? Priyanka, because that is also covered in NABARD. Look at here, tribal development. NABARD also has a portfolio of tribal. Tribal comes in rural, right? Tribal development comes under rural, and NABARD के full form में we have rural development. So tribal development will also come under NABARD के concerned areas. I will upload the PPTs today itself. You can revise that. I will upload those today itself. Right? Probably another 1 hour may I'll upload. Okay, thanks, Nikhil. Thank you, Naveen. Thanks. Okay. Abhi, your question was how B is with it because it's not concerned with health of the farmers. It is more on development of the rural area, not about the health of the farmers. उसके लिए we have different ministries. Right? Farah, what is a startup? Startup is a new age company which is focused on innovation, bringing something new by the use of technology. We call it a startup. Have a nice day too, Barna. Thank you so much. Cool. I'll just wait for another 30 seconds. Quick questions. Thank you. The session was helpful. Great. It keeps revising, Ganesh, right? एक बारी member बन जाओगे फिर फीस भरनी पड़ेगी, right? पहले member बनने पे focus करो. Great. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. I'll see you in the last session, which is on Thursday. Chapter 6 करेंगे, थोड़ा सा quiz करेंगे. We'll talk for 30-40 minutes. Conversation. We'll have questions, clarifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.